Let there be peace and love. Welcome to Satsang. The unconditioned, free self, or what you really are, your natural state, that's why you have not to search, because you are it, searching or not. The illusion is that it appears of the world, and one is confused by that, confuses himself as part of the world. As a manifestation, of course, as a creation of that, of course. But abide in yourself and don't be impressed by phenomena. They are just changing expressions and not meaningful regarding reality. And if you come to satsang, it is to be sure of that. The illusion also makes believe that there is nothing else than what it can know or can discover. And this is exactly the quality of the world of appearance, the mind actually. The mind is called a mind because it's dual, so there is always, it makes rise always a subject and an object, time, space. That's called the world of appearance, unreal by nature. So, to get rid from this illusion, it will not be by quietening or satisfying the mind, which is an appearance. It will be by not looking at anything which appears with curiosity or with belief that there is a meaning there for a while. And I say for a while because the habits of the mind look so strong at some point, but that also will go. So rather than to try to reach there or to understand what it is, which is already a dead end, it's impossible. You are it already. There is looking like ignorance, looking like a veil, and that it appears so. So abide in yourself, and for a moment don't look at any phenomena. And when it happens, when you are busy with the phenomena, no, it's the phenomena. Don't expect permanency, peace, eternal joy there. So, anything you like to add or remove or whatever comes in you. I am available. And you see, if there is any difficulty, a feeling of difficulty, it's because one still believes in the reality of the feelings. And it's true, with feelings it's very difficult to know what's from where it comes from, because where it goes to its source, it disappears. Nothing will know it. No thought, no feeling, no sense. And if you ask, but then what is it? How it can be known? It's just a thought because of the defeat of the mind. Yeah.
So only in these 4 days that I've been away,
Yeah.
I remember too late these words that you say, that I don't risk myself, I don't go there.
Mm-hmm.
By there I mean like listening to emotions,
Yeah.
or searching something in the
Yeah.
samsara. And I remember too late when you say, I don't want to put at risk this. And then of course I put at risk, and then it's like everything was upside down again.
Mm-hmm.
Then I come here, and then it's like everything is different again. Well, not immediately now, but I see the other thing. But I would like you to comment this putting at risk what we...
Yeah, but you see, the thing is that don't play with the time. When you say it's too late, and then I remember, you see, they are not from the same place. It's too late, maybe in time, but it will never bring you what you are. And to just remember, maybe I was busy with time, I confused myself with time. It's not in time. So who cares if it is late, not late? The essential is the moment you don't attach yourself to time. And know with more conviction, more and more, that all the rest is time, the play of time, remembering and forgetting, it's in time. It will never be by remembering that you abide in yourself. You see, it is I don't have a word, and nor in French, it's not a question of vocabulary. It is by just for a split second not touching what you have known or think of yourself, so not touching the time. And I would not say it's a remembrance. You see, if you have been struck by a sentence in satsang, it's from the self, and it struck you directly into yourself, not two, same. If it is taken as an understanding, that's different. Then you have to remember. But then the place is still in the mind. Something like that. Anyway, you already abide in yourself. So remove the belief that you can be lost. Even if you have a strong identification, sensation with the feelings, senses, or the mind, it appears so. It will always appear so, sometimes weak, sometimes strong, but it will appear. It belongs to that person. Hmm? Yeah. Where are you now? Confused. I remove your remembering, so you look good. Okay? It's not even remembering. That's why this expression has a meaning up to a certain extent, to be freed from the tyranny of the mind. Yeah. Nothing wrong with the mind, it appears. It's even the self which appears so. But the tyranny is because of the confusion. Yes.
I'm very happy to finally just kind of stop for a moment and say, I have no question.
That's why you are happy.
So I bring gratitude. I bring nothing but gratitude. It's a bit weird, like, to have this knowledge. It's kind of weird.
The mind finds it weird, yeah.
But I enjoy it. And thank you. No more questions.
We can live beautifully without questions, you know.
Apparently so. It's new to me, yeah? It's a wonderful, what's the word? Wisdom you share. And I very much appreciate you sharing it. So,
Yes, it's
life is awesome when you understand that.
when
Life is awesome. Like when you understand,
yeah.
like life is easy.
When you know your luck,
It's really cool.
the luck to hear. I also thank all the time, don't worry. So I pass on to my master.
It's a blossom. Sorry. I didn't sleep last night. Too much on my kitchen table, I think, and then I have no more questions. So sorry, I'm a bit tired today. But it's a little bit of responsibility when you know.
It's not your choice. Some are quiet. Some don't speak less than before. Some speak more than before. Some teach. Some go and fetch potatoes. It's
I
not
changed my life with this knowledge. Huh? I did already. It's done. It's finished. I don't know where yet, but this is quite important information.
You see, it's funny. Nowadays, and I must say I'm included, everybody, but not in what I will say now, everybody thinks he has to teach once he's cooked. It's a funny idea, you know, because it's not, you are, first of all, who is there to decide or to have a will about that? It's absolutely not in your hands. It happens, it doesn't happen, and you don't have more or less. It's just nothing more than a phenomenon of teaching. Okay. But the wisdom, if I may call that indication, always keeps alive. As long as there is even one demand on this planet, it will keep alive. So of course it has to take some form and some language for that. How can I help you if you need help? Hmm? Naomi?
I try to do this not this, or and who am I, and I try keeping quiet.
No, that's too much. Ah, you mean after every movement you did?
After a free movement.
Every movement you did towards the source, you keep quiet. Okay.
That I ask, who am I?
It has a direction, huh? Don't forget. It has a direction. Huh?
Is it no? I ask, who am I? Then I try not to catch the movements. Is it good or not good?
You see, you speak a bit of the past now. So, if you don't catch any movement, why don't you just stay there? Then you don't need to ask, who am I? Unless you make a something out of it, like a state of, oh, I'm finally keep quiet. Then you could ask, who is keeping quiet? Do more. You will understand. You will do more of that.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then
Then it means you dedicate your life to this subject. And with your body you do other things, but innerly you dedicate your life to this subject. It's better than to worry about how can I represent the truth and so on.
and what does it mean? Dedicate my life.
To dedicate your life to music, what does it mean? Or dedicate your life to your kids, what does it mean? You give your life, You give your life to serve that. Hmm? Only then, you see, you are free. You are always free, but I mean, you are freed from the search for freedom. Only then. It's not like this, out of the blue, open mouth, boom. No. If you read the stories of the known it's a way to speak, free beings. There is no beings when you are free, but free beings. And then we can't say free beings, otherwise there is no life too. Okay, the life of the free beings. They did a lot. They did a lot before meeting even their guru, or the one who finally they can trust, or where they suddenly even stop to listen to their mind. You see? That's the dedication. Yeah?
Ganga, you just said what is to dedicate your life to music and to your children. Imagine how much this can apply to me.
Mm.
And
Me too, not to music, but to other things.
yeah, sure, of course.
The body
of course,
and all that does it, yeah.
But this is what you say about you cannot have two lovers, right? You cannot dedicate your life to know yourself or to freedom and blah blah blah. I mean, blah 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 blah. I mean, words.
It's good. It's good, yeah.
And at the same time, we cannot dedicate our lives to. I mean, we cannot serve.
Listen, don't make it complicated. When I say you don't need to be a yogi, detached from everything, and go to the cave, and first of all, it's not true. The yogi brings his mind, and if he's quite successful, he will be in samadhi sometime. Okay? So he is not really detached as some people believe. And some even take some magazine under the stone. Anyway, I really don't mean that, and I don't care about what you do with your time. You see, with your birth, with your whatever, you took a certain way of living. You created your life, yeah? As a person. Now, that takes your mind, that takes your feelings and your senses. Yeah? Okay. Now, this search is there in the mind. Okay, in the mind. And you hear, oh, I have to dedicate all my energy for that if I want to be freed from this illusion I hear, which appears as world. First of all, I ask you to dedicate a split second to that, and you do your split second as much as you like, as long as you need, and the time will even not notice it. Because I don't want you to be in a state. You see? And that is anyway much more efficient, because that split second is just your free reality. That will do the work. That will ruin the so-called belief that the appearance is real. But still it will appear, and still you will function in it. Is it clear? Okay. Everybody wants to put timelessness into time. It's not the way. You have to see, but not with the senses, of course, that you are timelessness. And the time plays on you. With a shape, with forms. Again, I repeat, it is not the mind, so the person who will be enlightened. There will be no enlightened state in the mind, except as an illusory experience maybe, which comes and goes. But if you speak of the real thing, so you have really to see that more you have curiosity in the mind, more you delay. You can inquire and put question towards that direction, because that has to be very clear, and maybe it takes time that it becomes very clear. But once you are clear about that, then dedicate a moment without being with the time. You are already what you are. It is this entertained problem of what's reality, What's the meaning of this life? Who am I in reality? That gives the suffering to a person. And there is one consequence, it's true, when you abide in the self, is that the person will look as it looks. Nothing may have even changed, or with time there is a few changes, not in your hand anyway. But the mind surrendered, it means there will be no search, because all this is demystified. At least that consequence for this apparent person is there. The mind will say, I don't know what it is, but not as a bitter acceptation or, okay, I'm well with it, and I will never know. No, I don't know what it is because it's impossible, because the mind never went there. You see? So he will keep quiet, the mind, about the subject. Huh? Yeah? Yeah.
The mind keeping quiet about the subject.
Can I keep him?
When the mind
Ah.
keep quiet about the subject, it means, for example, it's not commenting the person because the person is not there, so the mind not comment. Just let it happen how it happens. I mean,
You are there? You then don't ask this question if you are there.
without asking, I'm not. Without asking, I'm suffering.
Yes, because you are not there. you may know some experience of quietness. Yes, sure. But go on. Don't stop there also. Because you see, if you allow to be satisfied with a quiet mind, which is already a big achievement. It's a big achievement, and I wish to everyone to have a quiet mind, after all. You suffer less in the world, that's true. But because it is a quiet mind, it still belongs to someone, looking like real, and so the quietness will be temporary. This is the problem. It's the person taken for real which is the problem.
My mind is not so quiet.
Yeah, so good to ask a question, maybe. So tell me, why don't you try to see who is agitated? Who? I have to reply to that question. Huh?
I.
Yeah, I, but what do you mean when you say I?
Yeah, the person is there with the past, with the habits.
Okay, yes. A person which is past itself, yes. Yes. So you describe that person very well. You are not what you describe. You have to remain where you are able to see that person with a past. That direction. You see, if you say, it's very good, a person with the past, it must be, even if it is not so, it must be a way so that you can describe it. It is like that. So the emphasis is not on what you see now, is to be from where you can see this. But you don't give a moment to that. You jump to the other description.
I try to give a moment, but yes, my mind always jumping again.
Yeah, but you know that when you know it jumps, you are not obliged. For once you try, or I'm not going to look at that. Because I hear again and again that it will not bring me any news from the truth.
And that is again.
Yeah, I will tell you again. You see, that's called hypnotism. We are hypnotized by what the mind presents. You are not a presentation. You are that from where you can see the presentation. And give a moment alone before jumping to the second one. Don't go to the first. Second one, okay, it's too, the habit is too strong, okay. But at least if you don't go to one, you will see that already it will be much easier. Yeah. We are so curious always. That's why we've been taking incarnation. Oh, this one I didn't live. Boom. Oh, this is not fulfilled. Chop. And so on. Dreaming. Dreaming. Yeah.
So every single thing must be, as far as I understand, negated. Everything, right?
When you have this purpose, yes, to do it, yeah.
When it's a purpose to do it.
I mean, as a person, you will fail because, of course, you cannot do that 24 hours, isn't it? As a person,
Yeah.
you have to admit that you cannot do that 24 hours,
Yeah, but
unless you want to try.
Yeah.
But we can admit that a good one is enough. If you fail, whenever you have a desire for freedom, otherwise, you see, it doesn't matter. When you have this sudden awareness that, wow, when I will be freed from that, I should really dedicate a moment to that at least. You see, when you have this fire, you do it, yeah. Whenever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, like right now I've got the fire, and more specifically I'm being drawn to my solar plex. Something's drawing me here. Does that need to be, I mean, it feels good to be here instead of here, but does that also need to be negated? Or that's what I was,
If it brings you back to the body,
then it does.
yes, it does, of course. Nothing wrong, okay, it's very pleasant for your life as a person. But if you dedicate a moment for freedom, of course you have to negate, because it's an experience of your body. And this negation is to suddenly be aware, I'm not the body. Understand? Okay. But for your life, be solar, that's not bad. From here, huh?
So when I see hand satsang, I feel sometimes that instinct, intuition, willpower.
Then you are not in satsang at that time.
So that's also,
Because
Yeah,
satsang is not to listen to the mind.
that's the mind, instinct, intuition.
Yeah,
It's also,
yeah.
It's all the same family.
Levels, it's just levels, different levels in the mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So makes it very simple.
I'm happy you discover it. But you have to fall in love with that, huh? You still have a head, Garendra? You still have a head?
Unfortunately true.
Why? Because you told me that last time, to chop your head. Huh? To chop your head. But you see, if you are not the body, you have not to chop your head.
Still identifying with thoughts.
There are thoughts,
still identifying thoughts.
But you see nothing wrong with thoughts. But why do you take them for real? I'm not the mind also. You have to hear that a bit more. Yeah? Let the thoughts, poor thoughts, they just appear because of your habit to believe in them. No, you don't need to believe in them. They will appear still because of the habit, past habit. But let them go. Who are you to see that? I'm not the thought. I am not the person with a thought. Trust that. Trust till it's your fact. Yeah.
I just feel too exposed, even if I'm not sure what to say. What I live with is to feel this silence in everything. But it's feeling, it's a experience.
Yeah.
Sensing.
Right. And then? The feeling belongs to whom? To the one you know. Are you a person? Did you hear? Are you a person? In fact, who are you? Tell it. Tell. Who are you?
I'm everything.
That's a habit of yours, to put silence everywhere. And then now you are everything. Better to say first, I'm nothing. Really nothing. And it's not even nothing. But the mind cannot say more than that. I am nothing, and I surrender even to that. Otherwise I keep in my mind. So you see, the mind gave a few answers, even when it inquired, was curious and investigated into this manifestation. And in the end, they come to the conclusion, let it be religion or science, I'm a dust of God, what they say? What? No, not does they say?
Particle.
Huh?
Particle?
Particle of God, and others they say I'm a particle of stars. We are reduced always to very, very small thing. They cannot go further because they keep the mind. So be aware of that it will be absolutely not like the image the mind presents. Let it be when it's reduced to its maximum. It will be when you are freed from image, from answers. That's it.